What's up, Joe? Doing all right?
What's going on with you, bro? How you doing?
If I were any better, I'd be you, probably. Were you a fan of Star Trek?
Who?
Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek. The old show, Star Trek?
No, I'm not a Trekkie, man. No,
okay. All right.
Not really. I mean, it used to come on when I was going to bed, but I never liked
Spock died, so we were just reminiscing. My dad used to.
I did like Spock, though.
Yeah, I mean, Spock was one of a kind. There's no doubt about it. And it would always come on in my neck of the woods. It always came on at 11 a.m. on Sunday. And my dad always had to watch it, and I don't even look at him.
My dad was a Trek guy too.
I don't even know why he.
Same with my dad.
My
That's
dad
the
doesn't
only
strike
show
me
like
as
that
a
he
Trekkie.
watched.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as a sci-fi guy at all. But he did watch Star Trek, and he made me watch, and I hated it.
Joe, can we use you for a social experiment here?
No.
Come on.
No.
Is the dress gold and white or blue and black?
Oh, yeah, man. I saw one picture it was blue and black, and then I saw another picture, I thought it was white and gold.
Pick a side, Adkins. Pick a side.
All right, it's blue and black.
All right, that makes the score 3-2.
All right, here's the other social experiment.
3-2, white and gold in front.
Zach, can you pull up that headline that we asked Desmond Mason about yesterday?
Oh, gosh, this is right up your alley.
Yeah, this is right up your alley, Joe. I've got it here, actually.
You're going to love it. You're going to love this.
All right, so I'm going to give you this newsok.com headline.
I'll give you Todd's translation of it.
Okay.
Or actually, I agree with the translation.
Yeah.
So our translation of the headline. So you give the headline first.
The headline is, Oklahoma City Thunder, Mitch McGary is all hustle and heart.
And I think the translation of that headline really means Mitch McGary is white.
Oh, okay.
Do you agree? Do you agree with that?
White shirt. Yeah, I'm white shirt. Well,
wait a minute.
What did he say?
Okay.
I didn't hear you, Joe.
I love it. That's what's up.
Is that true? Is that true?
Definitely. You tell me, is it true?
Well, if Mitch McGary were black, would the headline say Mitch McGary is all hustle and heart?
If I'll say this, let me see.
Look at him. He is dodging landmines. You're totally dodging landmines. Go ahead.
Mitch McGary played really well. At the beginning, he hadn't played as well. So I'm going to say if Mitch McGary were black, there wouldn't even be an article about Mitch McGary.
Whoa! Shots fired!
Now, by the same token, we had this discussion earlier. I'm sure you've seen...
Shots fired. Who am I firing shots
Zach's always trying to stir up controversy,
fire blanks,
Joe.
it's fine.
You probably saw the story about Josh Hamilton, right?
Yes.
That had the relapse.
Uh-huh.
Now, answer me this. Do you think that story is handled different if Josh Hamilton's a black athlete? Oh, he just hung up on us. Man. Jeez, I've asked some bad questions in my day, but never gotten hung up on like that.
Did we make him that? Surely we did not make him that uncomfortable. Surely. He thrives in that pool. I mean, seriously. That pool is like a deep end for everyone else. Like, we're just trying to stay above water. He stands on top of that water. He absolutely stands on that water. What did he say? Did it just pop off? I mean,
Now, see, I think Joe just hung up when he heard the question, but he's saying he didn't hang up.
What was the question again?
The Josh Hamilton story, do you think it would be handled differently if Josh Hamilton were a black guy?
How's it being handled?
You hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I feel so bad for Josh Hamilton."
I don't think you hear a lot of that.
Oh, I've heard a lot of it.
I told you earlier, I think you hear a lot of sympathy fatigue because it's his third time, or second time at least that he's relapsed, and people get much like Derrick Rose. That's what I argued, even though it's totally separate things. Is after you have an addiction, or these athletes and these celebrities have addictions, or if you've been injured, X number of times, we get tired of feeling sorry for you. Would that be right or no?
In a way, but we're still very forgiving. I mean, we give people chances over and over. And I think we're kind of, it's about the same when we're dealing with like addiction. Pretty much, I mean, you have to be pretty much straight and narrow. Whatever you do for someone else, you're gonna have to do to the other person.
Well, what do you do with this
it's gonna
then?
Be pretty consistent. I mean, if he has a relapse, to me, I mean, I'm a substance abuse. I mean, I work in that profession, so I understand.
Oh, well, then
that there's gonna be relapse in it. So to me, I'm gonna always say with that, you give him a second chance because it happens. I mean, it's a part of life. Something's obviously going on in his life to where he turns to that again. So I would say they need to spend more time maybe treating that and what made him go back to using than the actual using, because that'll stop if that's something else going on in his life.
Well, you work in this profession, and I totally forgot about that. If you don't mind, I'd like to. We talked about this for a segment earlier, and I'd like to talk about this more so than basketball for the moment, if that's all right with you.
Go ahead.
I got this. I'm going to give you two things, and then I'll leave it alone. Two separate messages that I got via email, Twitter, etc., about the Josh Hamilton story. The first one is this. How do you react to this? I'm glad you didn't talk Josh Hamilton yesterday. Frankly, his story isn't worth the time. All of that money, and he's thrown it all away. What do you do with that? You react to that how?
I mean, people, every time, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you aren't stupid. Like, people, because you have money, it doesn't make you a robot or a physical. I mean, he has money and he's blowing his money. Well, the poor guy that's on the corner doesn't have money and he's spending it. So who's really dumb? It's probably the guy that doesn't have it.
Yeah, and that's where I went into kind of like sympathy fatigue. Like, I mean, and maybe it's because I can empathize because I've had, I'm not calling these the same things. But I had food problems for years. But, few put food addiction in the same category as drug addiction, and I can understand why. It's a different category, but I still empathize.
But it is an addiction, though,
right?
And I understand that, too. So it's basically the same thing. I mean, something happens and it triggers it, and it always made you relapse.
And this is another one about money. This is the other one I got. How do you react to this? The problem is he's a gazillionaire. It's a lot different from any of us regular 9-to-5 people, like the rest of the world. He's got money and resources to get himself right, and he chooses not to use that money and resources towards getting help. He uses it towards getting a handle of whiskey and an 8-ball. Why would you feel sorry for that?
Well, anytime you go into he's a gazillionaire, that really has nothing to do with everyday problems. I mean, people, so many times we say because somebody's rich that they don't have any worries. Well, there was a time he wasn't rich, and when he was, or right when he became rich, he had an addiction and he had got himself in trouble. So this has been going on for 17 years. So, how old is he? 30 now? What is?
Oh yeah, not old.
He's
you're older than him.
Yeah, 13 or 14 years this has been going on, and it truly is. And Zach, it's a battle every day. Like, it's just like when people listen that they're a former alcoholic, they understand. It's truly a battle every day. It's something that it has to be worked, and you have to just surround yourself with the support system. And every time we talk about that, I speak on support system because you have to have the right people around you so you can get the help you need to or even assist you in continuing with your sobriety. But when you're alone like that and you do have gazillions of dollars, you have access to many other things that people don't. He may have been in a party with 150 other rich people, and they were all doing it. But he's not going to come out and say that. But they all still woke up the next day, the other 149 people say, and they didn't get in trouble. So, we don't know who he was with, what was going on. Who else it could have been a room of 300 rich guys in there. So, money has nothing to do with it.
Joe Adkins with us on 107.7 The Franchise on the Little Caesars Hot and Ready Hotline. What was different about last night's game for the Thunder compared to the 7 previous?
They weren't as good defensively for sure. That would be the main concern. They gave up a lot of points. Yesterday we were talking in the locker room, and I talked about Phoenix, and when you play Phoenix, they can trick you into playing extremely fast and get you, although the Thunder, they're a very up-tempo team, Phoenix can kind of lull you into playing their style where you're giving up easy baskets, and it's just, we're going to trade baskets, and the Thunder got too caught up in that. And then they just didn't make the plays. Eric Bledsoe, he was phenomenal. I thought he played extremely well.
He was good. I called him the best player on the floor last night, and people are scoffing at me.
You know, he's a lot like Russ in a lot of ways. He's just not as big. I mean, he was young. When Russ was young, he had a lot of turnovers like Eric Bledsoe, but he's so quick. I mean, he can get to the rim literally any time. But he has some developing to do, but he's one of those guys. He's going to continue to get better.
All right, buddy. Texter says, Joe hung up to call human resources over this new segment y'all got. # Ask a Black Guy. All right, Joe. So we got you down for blue and black. That makes the score 3-2 of the people that we have asked today. White and gold in front. For now. We might have to ask one more person, see if we get a tie. See you later, buddy. Good talking to you.
All right, you guys have a good weekend.
All right, man.